Daily Devotionals for June 21st. Today's scripture reading will be Romans 12, verse 2. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You know, it's really, really, really important that we know and we understand that we have been given the mind of Christ. You know, the enemy comes against us constantly, and he begins right here in our mind. But when we've been born again, when we have repented and we have turned our life over to the Lord, then all of our past, all of our sin is washed away, and we are cleansed by the blood of the Lamb. So the enemy, he knows that, and it scares him, and he still wants to, the hook that he had in us before, no matter what it was, if it was drugs or alcohol or, you know, whatever it was, he wants to remind you of that sin and make you think that you were never forgiven of it. Or, you know, maybe we held an offense towards someone, or, you know, we had odds against someone for whatever reason. He will always want to remind you of that and make you think that you were not forgiven. And he'll come back over again and always bring something at you so you don't forgive yourself. So, but when we were born again, we were given the mind of Christ. Now, we need to always be in our book, the Bible. This is our life guideline. It is our lifeline. We need to be dwelling in that and knowing what the word says. And when the enemy comes against us here, then we need to use that word to turn him away and not agree with him. Because once we agree with him in our mind, then it internalizes, and we hear it, we believe it, we start speaking it, and it turns into one thing to another, and before long you're turning away from God and turning back to that sin. So Paul's saying here, don't be conformed to the world. Don't go back to the way that you were. Be transformed in your mind. Renew your mind to that of Jesus Christ. Live in the Word. You develop the fruit of the Spirit. Then you will know the perfect will for your life. You know, people go all through life saying, well, what is the will of God? Well, when you spend time with him and you seek him for his will, his way, his thoughts, you're transformed in your mind and you're conformed to his likeness, the likeness of Jesus Christ. And you don't compromise. You stand strong on the word. You have the faith of God, speaking his word in truth and spirit. And so remember that the first thought that you have where the enemy comes against you, say no. Okay, if it's a second thought that comes and you're like, this is contrary to what I know is truth, say no. You know, Jesus said, get behind me, Satan. When you recognize it's the enemy, don't be afraid to speak it. Okay? All right. Be blessed. Till next time.